Hello, Giulietta here for the Andreasen meditation today. I'm talking to you from my flat in Cambridge. It's very nice to be back in Cambridge after a long time away. And I thought today we'd work with both light and flowers to bring in healing and support. Hello, Glyn. Very nice to see you watching there. It's the time, the solstice, and it's a time of great light, and the sun is at its hottest and the days are at its longest. So we might want to work with the sunlight. And at the same time, we're coming to the end of a full moon, so it's just starting to wane, but there's still a lot of moonlight. So we'll have the option, depending on how people feel, whether to draw in the sun or the moonlight, which is a bit more cool, perhaps depending if you're a heat lover or not. And then I'll bring in some flower imagery as well. As well, some of you might know, my mom was in hospital for over a month, and something I found really strong and effective was I would bring a little azalea from her garden into the hospital room, and I just put it in a tiny little cup of water so it was floating there and she could see it. And I was surprised, at how healing this was. I think for my mom, it reminded her of nature, and those hospital rooms can be super sterile. So it was a nature connection, it was a garden connection, but also I noticed the nurses commented on it. They would come in and say, "Oh, how lovely, oh, how wonderful to see a flower." So I realized that flower was giving a lot of healing out there, like a lot of joy for people, more than I anticipated. So, we shouldn't underestimate the flowers. Not that you do, but and that can be such a lovely little gift for someone who's low or perhaps cut off from nature. Just that little bloom, maybe in water, can really lighten people's spirits. That was one of my learnings, the power of flower, over the beginning of this year. So I think it might just be us for now, but if you're listening later, thank you for listening later, and of course you're a part of this meditation across time. But I think, Glyn, it's you and me in this time at this moment, so lovely to have you here with me. And just getting comfortable to begin with, just making sure you're seated in a very comfortable position, a grounded and earthed position. If you're in a chair, feet flat on the floor, legs not crossed, and if you're on the floor, just enjoying that connection to the solidity of the earth. Perhaps you're even lying down and just connecting with that support. And just perhaps closing the eyes and looking inwards, and if there are any little tensions, easing them out. I'm easing out my shoulders now. Feel free to move in this meditation when you need to. We can often become aware of tension as we go, and it's a good idea to just ease it out rather than sitting with it. And perhaps taking some deep breaths in through the whole body, down to the belly, even down to the legs, and even letting out the out breath, even sighing it out. And breathing in, sighing it out. Doing that a few times. And perhaps connecting with this feeling of release on the out-breath. Whether you're sighing, whether you're quiet, just releasing into the air, into the ground, letting things drop away. And then we'll bring a beautiful light. Hello, Susanna. Beautiful light down from the top of the sky. And this, you might want to work with the radiant fire of sunlight. If that is too hot, work with a cooling light, silvery, perhaps moonlight coming down. Whichever light you are in contact with, allowing it to just touch and perhaps open out, clear out the crown of the head. And allowing that light to move through the brow, clearing the cobwebs of the brow chakra. Front and back. And allowing that light to clear the eyes and eye sockets all the way back into the head. Clearing the ears and the ear canals. And just allowing the entire head and face to be covered with the light. You may want to release that back nape of the neck, what I call the spirit gate, allowing anything to just flood out. It's time to let go. It's time to bring the light in to the head. And allowing that light to come to the throat. So many unspoken words maybe, well, they can go now. Feeling that spaciousness in the throat. Perhaps little movement, little air currents happening in the throat, just moving around, a gentle wind, blowing out those things that are stuck there, blowing them out. And filling the throat with light. Now I'm welcoming the light into my heart chakra. For me, the light always gets a bit more gentle here. It's very gentle chakra. And allowing that light to just beautifully shine, shoulder to shoulder, front and back of the heart center. And if there are little shadowy areas, allowing that light to gently beam there. So we're sort of gently chasing out the cobwebs, chasing out the dark shadows with this gorgeous light. I feel my breath deepens at this point. The heart chakra is connected to the lungs as well. So if it feels nice to you, as the light is clearing, take a nice deep breath. And let's already bring some flowers into our meditation here. Imagining flowers through the heart chakra. Just noticing what color are those flowers? What kind are they? Are they blooming or perhaps they're buds? Maybe they're even seeds under the earth. What have you got there in your heart chakra? and whatever is there, nourishing it with the lights. Calling those beautiful blooms to really open and shine. Now I'm feeling release down my arms from shoulder to fingers as the light fills this whole upper chest area. And if you have tight shoulders, this might be a nice time to just focus on that gentle light, perhaps warm light, holding around little knots of tension, perhaps even rolling the shoulders at this point. Rolling the wrists if you've got tension there. Allowing the light to roll down the arms. Rivers of light. Now we'll let that light move into our solar plexus chakra, filling that whole area with light. For me, I can always use a much brighter light here than heart chakra, so I'm just imagining a bright golden sun. See if that works for you. Maybe a candle is better, or a moonlight, full moon. But whatever light you're using, allow it to just fill those lower rib area. Filling it and clearing cobwebs, clearing shadows, rekindling fire. If there really is not much light there, light a candle there. And if there is light there, let it shine out. Perhaps again taking some deep breaths, feeling that area expand and contract, freeing it up. And then the light can pour down into our sacral chakra, the whole lower belly. From hip to hip. The light is stabilizing. I always see water when I tune into this area. It's a watery chakra for me. So just notice what kind of water you have there. Is it a still lake? Or is it rumbling rapids? And allowing the light to shine on whatever type of water you have in that sacral chakra. Again, illuminating the shadows. And if you feel it needs a bit of balance, even rocking from hip to hip, allowing the balance of that sacral chakra as it's receiving this clearing light. And then bringing that light down to the root chakra. Perhaps the light turns red here, supporting the root chakra, clearing that base chakra. And as it does, you might feel a deeper connection to the grounds. It's the earthy chakra. Letting anything go that wants to be released into the grounds. hands. Now letting the light run down both legs. Running down both legs into the ground, taking anything that's been released with it into the earth, where the earth, in her wisdom, will transmute it, whatever energy she is receiving. And just noticing for moments how your body is feeling now. You might feel warmer or cooler. You might feel more spacious. Just noticing if you feel it released as well. Maybe even more relaxed. And of course, if you don't, that's fine too. Just holding that. Any areas that are a bit troublesome to you in light. And perhaps taking some deep breaths, whatever your state you're in, down to the belly and out again. So now we'll connect with flowers. So imagining yourself surrounded by the most beautiful flowers. I'm even imagining a rain of flowers over me. And just noticing their beauty, whatever flowers you have right now. And see if you can connect with joy at seeing these flowers. And allow the flowers to bring you joy. The flowers want to bring you support, joy, healing. Noticing what the flowers are bringing you, what moods. What colors do you see around you? Can you almost feel the softness of the petals on your skin as the flowers rain over you, as you sit amongst them? And so now we'll imagine gathering up some of those flowers. And let's first send them to Michelle. It's her birthday today. Let's send her some flowers, flowers of joy and healing. Imagining those flowers covering her like a gift. And now let's, scooping up some more of those flowers, let's send them to our other regular meditation leader, Susanna. Sending her flowers of joy and healing. just a few of us here. We can also send flowers to Glyn. Let's send those flowers to Glyn, who's here right now. Again, for joy, for healing. And I see we also have Rid watching at the moment. So let's sending her some flowers as well. For joy, for healing. Then you might want to scoop up these flowers and send them to anyone you know who may need them at this time. Sending the flowers. And now scooping up the flowers and sending them to a part of the world you feel that would be helpful. I'm going to send them to Gaia, the Earth Goddess. And then sending flowers to anyone who will be watching this meditation in the future. We send flowers to you. And then bringing those flowers back to yourself, allowing yourself to just be in the beauty of the flowers. Allow them to support you. Noticing their beautiful colors. Breathing in their scents. Feeling the softness of the petals on your skin. And again, allowing the breath to be deep. Allowing the breath to be free. Okay, let's thank the flowers for being with us. Thank the light for being with us. And we're going to slowly wrap up the meditation with some protection of the chakras. First, bringing yourself back to the room you are in. Feeling contact the ground with your seat. Noticing the actual smell of the room around you after all that flower imagery. What smells are actually around you now in the physical world? And then we'll bring a nice crown on the head. My crown of flowers. So if it's noticing what sort of flowers they are or what sort of crown you've been, to protect your crown chakra. Using a flower or a sacred symbol, close and protect the third eye. Why not putting flowers in the two eyes, the two ears, and the back of the head, that spirit gate, so that flower can help us see and hear joy, positivity. And bringing that flower or sacred symbol in the throat chakra. May our words flow, especially if they are beautiful words. And putting perhaps a large flower on the heart chakra, perhaps a golden veil, something that protects the heart chakra, but still allows us to shine out. And then imagining a flower on the solar plexus chakra closing, and a flower on the sacral chakra closing, protecting the root chakra with perhaps a flower there. And again, allowing anything that is released to run down the legs into the ground. You may want to sit for a little longer, relax, or slowly open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for journeying with me with light and flowers. And I went quite deep there, so if you did, please be gentle with yourselves and maybe have a nice cup of tea or lemonade, sit in the garden, and rest. Yes, enjoy a little bit of rest. So again, thank you for joining me. And if there are comments, I will answer them over time, but I will now finish this. So beautiful day to you all.